those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. I took some time, 40 days or so, to wander around a bit in nature and to remember some important things about myself and about others. And I would like to share with you my observations. So come walk with me. Sometimes you just need a reboot, and nature is the place to do it. I'm happy I did this. I missed you all. I missed making videos and talking about things and topics, but it was important for me to do, and I highly recommend that if anyone is feeling like they just need time to recalibrate and think about things, go out into nature. Go for a hike on your own. And it is instant therapy. It heals you, it rejuvenates you, it makes you feel as if you can start again. For many of us that have experienced any kind of loss that we might be going through, or hard times, it truly is the great healer to all who take part in its observation. And I'm so happy that you came on this walk with me. It is a symbol for going on a different path or continuing down the same one as I did before, and I'm happy to come back. what is it about social media and about connecting to others? Something I have realized is that taking my time and being out in nature, I realized that our sense of self is identified through meeting other people and through having other people see us. Because when we are all alone and on our own, we melt back into nature. We become one with everything, and we no longer have an identity. So when we are reaching out to others that have other individual, unique identities from ourselves, we learn more about ourselves. Because if we do not connect to others, we simply fade into the background of nature. And while that is very beautiful and it's a wonderful experience to have, it truly doesn't give us an identity. We simply become ego-less, and we have no identity except for just one with nature, one with everything in the universe and everything on this planet. So understand the difference that you can come and go using social media, understanding that you're going to gain a sense of identity more when you connect to others and when others see you, and when you disconnect from others and when others don't see you and only nature sees you, then you identify yourself with nature, and it is completely separate from the ego self. It is the divine self. It is melting back into everything and into the great all, the great Eru, for those that understand the mythology behind the Silmarillion and the spirituality that is incorporated with the elven spiritual path. Becoming one with everything is really about melting back into nature, fading back into nature, and no longer existing as a separate self, but as becoming a part of everything and all that you see. We have the beautiful chance to be able to go back and forth with a human consciousness. We are able to identify ourselves as individuals as well as go back into the all. So take advantage of those times when you can go back into everything and then stand out amongst everything as an individual. It's a wonderful sense of freedom that humans have, that animals and nature and everything that exists in nature that does not have a human consciousness, they do not have. So I think that that is a really, truly beautiful gift, and that we can incorporate that into our lives, understanding that it's okay to identify ourselves with our ego self as well as the universal soul of everything, and being one with nature and having this nice balance of both sides. It really helps us to explore and experience life more in different perspectives, and that is the more sentient and self-aware consciousness that humans and other advanced beings have. And that's something that makes us a little different than the animals, but we are certainly one with animals. And when we want to, we have the ability to get back to that place and to take that time to remember ourselves as connected to everything. I just wanted to share that realization about the self and about the ego, being out in nature and realizing that there is no identity when you are all alone and one with everything around you. Another observation is that nature does not hurry. We should take our time more easily in life and enjoy everything that comes to us. Because nature itself does not hurry. It takes a long time for something to grow, to germinate, and to flourish and bloom, as you see. So why are we so impatient with ourselves? And why are we in such a hurry to get to our goals when we should be enjoying the journey, because really the only destination is the same, fully blooming. So enjoy that time in between. That's something I have learned. Take your time, and you will always find the right path for yourself. I'll tell you one thing that I realize is so important. If all we know all our life is our sense of identity and sense of self by interacting with others, and never having that time to self-reflect and giving yourself time to go out into nature and to melt back into nature and become one with everything and feel that lack of self-identity, then you're only going to know yourself by the reactions and the impressions that you give to others and the reactions from others. And that is problematic. It's also wonderful too, but it's also problematic because it might be a false sense of identity for yourself. It might not be who you really are, because only you yourself, when you are very truthful and honest and one with the core of who you are, really knows who you are. And so most of our connections that we have with people are really just face value. And so when you are alone and when you give yourself that chance to be one with nature and to reconnect to your true self, the divine self, that is when you get to the truth of your self-identity, of who you really are at the core, rather than always relying on how others perceive you and how you feel you're identified in the world. I think it's very important, and I know that there are some people that sometimes feel like people don't see them the right way, or they can feel misunderstood, or they can feel like people are not really understanding who they are. And that's when it's time to go back inward and get a chance to identify yourself with only nature around you. And then that way, it doesn't matter what others think about you. You know the truth once again. And that is another observation that I have made while being out in nature, finding my true self again. Once again, whatever impressions I have made in the world, I have found my true self once again, just taking that time. So if you ever feel lost and can't identify who you are, spend time in nature on your own, even for just a day, and you will be reminded of who you are outside of the perceptions of others, giving you sometimes their own filtered process of how they view the world and how they see you. So I hope that this helps you. It certainly helped me find myself again, and I will see you all in the next video.